Hey there, guys, ladies and gentle germs, thoughts and simps alike. Um, I want to talk to you guys about something. For those of you who are wanting to get into the world of acting and voiceover work, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about one of the things that I believe should be on everybody's top priorities whenever it comes to freaking getting into the industry, like starting from the ground level. If you are looking for a couple of things to add to your resume starting out, and you want to, hey, this looks like a project that would kind of interest me. This little possible visual novel could be really interesting to take part in. But what this video should be about is the warning signs that you should take into consideration that you shouldn't even bother going for that project at all. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, okay. On Twitter, fairly recently, there has been a project. I'll leave a... Actually, no, I won't leave a link to the description. But if you guys who are in the know already for the voiceover community, you probably already know what it is. There has been a project that has been looking for a couple of voice actors. They want screams, shouts, groans, grunts, and things like that, like very vocal, intensive things in their games. And it's understandable. They want to make their game pretty dang good. But, well, to quote another one of the actors who has mentioned this in the description of their thing, we are sorry to say there will be no monetary payment to the talent for any chosen audio tracks. About this, it's a game. It is a full-fledged video game that these guys are working on. One of the things that I feel should definitely be taken into consideration is the fact that you, if you are the one making the projects, need to pay the actors for the work that you do. A fair couple of exceptions to this are in mind, like say you do comic dubs. If it's just a one-time deal, then Mazel Tov, you could probably get away with it scot-free if it's people that you know and trust to do the project done at hand. There are some people who will ask for monetary value that you can't blame them. Why not? It's just a small little comic. But people do still want to be paid. Another thing would be say you have a animation that's say 15 seconds long, and you're the artist who's drawing it and animating it, but you want a voiceover person to do this. You could just talk to your friend and say, hey, you're really good at this. I feel like you could totally do a great job with it. Would you be willing to help me? Those kinds of small little details would be great for growing your repertoire in the acting field. However, when a company who is actually able to make money from this, I mean fat stacks of cash kind of deal, and they ask you to do it for no monetary compensation, ladies and gentlemen, a red flag. If the project has a couple of things and they say they will pay in their casting call, and they say they will pay, but they don't specify what kind of amount, red flag. You, as an actor, if you want to take this thing seriously or continue to do so in the future, you have to take into consideration that your time is worth something in this place. For me, I am in a couple of projects where I have been paid for my time. I have also been involved in projects where I have not been paid for my time, but I knew going in what that implied. Certain projects have been completely short-lived. and dropped whenever like a couple of people had been involved in it, and I'd say it was a learning experience for that. I have had a couple of people that are still working on the said projects that I am not getting paid for, but at the same time, they are very high on, like, they're pretty good on a resume deal. And we have written contracts for this, NDA style, that, hey, you acknowledge that you are not getting paid for this, but may in the future, with future shows that you do partake in. Those are things that you do have to take into consideration for that. However, if you have, like, if you are being paid for your time, which you should, a majority of the time, you should. If it's vocal intensive, like this game that is being displayed in front of me right now, you have to, do not take, I am not getting paid for an answer on this one. You have to know your worth. If you do not have a whole bunch of experience, but you say, hey, this would look great on a resume, but then all of a sudden you realize you weren't paid for it, what point is there to keep it on the resume? And not only that, what point is there to keep that on the resume when in the future you get better projects involved? You don't want to associate yourself with a project that, one, doesn't pay you, two, treats your actors badly, or three, makes you do vocal intensive things that will strain you to the point where there's a possibility that you won't be able to continue the voiceover field if you choose to pursue it. So bear that in mind, and bear also in mind that there have been also comments in here that are trying to support this kind of thing. You are worth money. Do not let these people take advantage of you. Anyone who respects the craft and the vocal health should avoid this. Don't ask people to work for free for you. Fair exceptions, but those are extremely rare in those cases. Comic dubs, for example, have those little moments. This is exploitative and disgusting. And the worst thing is that the newer actors who are going to be aware of this project will say, hey, this is good for my resume. Do also be wary that there are people who will blacklist the people who would be involved in that. If anything, it could end potential careers. So, ooh, man, it's... Be wary of what you get yourself into, dude. Alright? That said, I've already said my piece. You guys already know that you are awesome and you are worth every penny that people pay you for if you want to get into this. Just make sure you got the good equipment for it. That said, y'all have a good one, and I will see y'all next time. Peace!